What's up? What's up? It's the Runners Club podcast. Back with another one. Another one.
You just keep on returning, just circling the block.
Circling the block and picking up guests on the way.
Love it. I love it. This is the post Bank of America Chicago 13.1 episode, which was crazy.
Insane. And I really feel like we were in our pocket too, because it was just a lot of fun.
It was. I was expecting fun. I didn't realize how fun it was gonna be. And it was just popping from like the moment they turned our mics on to the moment we put them down.
The moment they put those mics on and handed us those mics and we could hear ourselves speak.
In the park.
They didn't know what they was doing. They wasn't ready. Because honestly, see, Remy always wants to poke her head into the room.
Yeah, what you
Come on then. Come here. Lay down. She's just sitting here staring at me. She's being so weird. But yeah, they gave us those mics and I was like...
It was supposed to be a sound check. They didn't even check our sound. They were just like, hey, just get out of the show. Oh, you sound good. You're amazing.
Right. And then we just kept going. Yeah, exactly. So, yes. I think we've gotten a lot of really great reviews from people. They really felt at home hearing us as they were lining up in their corrals. For those who don't know and aren't in Chicago, Sunday, June 5th, 2022 was the inaugural, right? First annual half marathon, Chicago 13.1 to be exact. That's what they're calling it. And when you think of the Chicago Marathon, this is the same individuals putting on this half marathon. This is and they're adding it to, their
the Shamrock Shuffle,
their portfolio.
The marathon,
because for years they've been doing the marathon, right, with like 40,000 plus participants, and then Shamrock's in March. It kind of is like the pre kickoff to the running kickoff, and
the running season. It's the inaugural race for the running season,
right? But then in the middle, it's kind of like just been a free for all where we would have half marathons. We do all these other things, but this is a little different because now the fact that the same people who put on the Chicago Marathon are putting on this 13.1 on the west side, going through Humboldt Park, Garfield Park, Douglas Park, it's different. So they hit us up and said, hey, do you want to be the announcers, the hosts? And we said, say less. As a matter of fact, it was our idea.
Right. How about?
It'd be great.
What if? Yeah. You have it on the west side, you might as well have announcers.
Let us put you on.
It was nice. We did the playlist for the start line, which is crazy. Some of our runners was trying to put together the swag surf line, but so many people didn't know what the hell that was. But they did it one time for the crew, and I appreciate y'all. And it was just vibes. It wasn't like the regular old songs you normally hear at the races every year. It was really smooth. It was like a little hiccup where the sound team didn't have the most up-to-date version of the playlist. And so they still had some explicit music on there. Kanye West was going ham. Just fucking pussy bishop on my own dick. I was like, wait, turn it down. Hook up your hotspot fan, refresh the page.
The Chicago team was like, yeah, there's some adult language. Is this the party that we're about to have? Is this what this is? Hold on.
Yes, it is. I tried to get old boy Cameron on there, but the radio edits in the early 2000s hit a little different.
A little different.
I was like, nah, I'm good. We can't play this. But they can hear us for a half mile back.
Yeah, which
Mary said she heard us as soon as she entered the park.
Yeah, that's amazing. And I was speaking as if you could hear me all throughout the course, which I know is not the situation. But I was just like, look, I'm speaking to every single one of you.
Yeah, it was love. It was awesome, man. Like it was definitely an experience. I like performed on stage a little bit after you left to the finish line and stuff like that. I was just rocking out the wave 2 and wave 3. Like it was awesome.
Yeah, I saw a little bit of a snippet from Matthew's phone, how he got you singing to everybody. It was great.
It was awesome. It was so cool. I didn't even realize Matthew was like there, like at the start line, because I didn't see him until me and the singer for "Lift Every Voice and Sing" and the national anthem. We was walking to the finish line, and I just saw him at the corner of like Washington and Central Avenue, just like said, like a little kid, like he was just lost, like home looking for my family.
Yeah,
Matthew wanna come with us? He was like, yeah. He tried to walk up with us, but security was tight. They saw my badge. They saw the singer's badge. They didn't see Matthew. I was like, yeah. I was like, we was walking up, and I forget what I said. I was like, oh, yeah, he's with us. She was like, well, I don't know anything about that. I can only let people with badges through.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, well, this is Courtney, the announcer's husband. So we're going to have to work something out. And then just as I said, that somebody from CM had walked up, and I guess they had heard.
Yeah.
And heard me what I said. And she was like, oh, no, you can come with me right now. We'll get you some credentials. And took him to get some credentials so you can come. I was like, there we go. And I looked at him. I was like, husband.
Okay. Yeah. Right. No, I appreciate you looking out for him because he don't, because I know he's like, yeah, I was trying to see you at the start line, but then I was on the wrong side of the course and I couldn't, he's like, I just, I'm like, bro. And so it was nice to have him there because he made me breakfast in the morning, made sure I had my tea, my smoothie, and, it's the routines for me that keep me like level. And so 4:00 in the morning, he was ready to go, drop me off. And then I'm like, I will see you later and you'll just have to figure it out. And so he figured it out and he got his credentials and he hung out with us at the finish line. And we had a good time. I mean, honestly, and then too, DJ Ray Chardonnay at the finish line really kept the vibes going. She continued with she's a great DJ and
solid. Yeah. I loved it. Yeah, I mean, it was just vibes, and it's funny that you said that because me and Karen's one, it was completely different because she was running the race, and stuff like that. So she wasn't like there to she made breakfast, but it was like I'm running today breakfast.
This is for me.
Toast. It was like toast, peanut butter, and honey.
Yeah.
And water is what we had for breakfast. That's what I did that entire 6 hours on.
Well, you see, I didn't even really do much more than that. Like when I say breakfast, I was like, Matthew, what I really want is a rice cake with peanut butter and blueberries on top and some cinnamon sprinkled on top of that.
I don't know how we did this.
And so he put it together, but the key was protein smoothie. That was it. Because then I could sip on that while we were going. And then I also had snacks. Like I had, what you should have told me? I had a Kind bar in my bag. I had a fruit leather in my bag. Like I bring snacks because it'll go downhill real fast for me.
My reserves didn't fall until like 10 o'clock. It was that last 30 minutes.
Yeah.
Because like runners was coming in a little bit
slower,
a little slower and stuff. And so it was just too big a gaps. And I just ended up it just ended up, just allowing me to kind of rest a little bit. Like it kind of let the energy drop. And then that's when they caught up to me.
And you could sit with yourself and really realize just how hungry and fatigued you are.
Hell yeah. And then I had other stuff planned. I was like, oh my God.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I really want to get into. But I also just want to say, seeing all our runners finish, all the run crews finish, being able to yell out everyone's names. We had these iPads that we could just put our hands in, there was a little pocket we could put our hands into to just hold it. And it was just a constant name drop. I was grateful for the fact that we didn't have to read everyone's last names because the way we were struggling through some of these people's first names, I was
oh my God. anybody who was running, we are sorry.
Yeah, we read like
As we do
thousands
this,
of
we will get
names.
better. No, we read 5,000 names.
5,000 names.
Give or take a couple
at the
hundred.
very least. Like it could have been, I think there was like 7,000 participants.
Yeah.
So
I was saying we read more than that, but like, because I feel like we only skipped like maybe like one or two on the screen at a time. Like,
and half the time we was reading some of them back to back. Like I would read it, then you read it, or you'd say their name and then I'd say their name again. And so we were really just like talking over each other. It was great.
Crazy.
Yeah.
It was crazy. Like y'all gotta understand, like the energy we give into this right now is like just pure exhaustion, but we are so excited for what took place yesterday. Like I still really don't have the words. I haven't even truly processed it. In a way, I wish we should have waited a couple of days to record because I just need time to process personally. Because it's just like I don't even know. Like seeing Gabriel from Gabe, which you've had on the podcast from his performance in Boston, seeing him cross the line with elites, and he didn't even start with the elites. Crazy. I was like, I read his name. I was like, all right, Gabriel. Gabe.
Yeah. Oh. Every time we saw someone we knew, because we were reading so many names, and then we'd be like, Jorge. Oh, that's Jorge. We'd be like, oh, Simeon. Like, it just was crazy because it was like, because we also didn't know a lot of people, but like Gabe coming in, like you said, not starting with the elites, but like ending with the elites. Like, and I think too, like, for a lot, since this is the first one, a lot of the elites came in just to kind of like feel it out. But I think now that they see like the beauty, the vibe, the flatness of the course, how fast you can go. Like, Chicago CEM, Chicago Events Management, the ones who put on these Chicago Shamrock and this now, they don't play and they do their races with intention. Like they know, like, okay, we put on the Chicago Marathon and people come here and they qualify for Boston. So if we do a half marathon, it should also be fast and people should be coming here from around the world trying to PR from elite to the everyday runner.
Yeah. But that speaks to Carrie. Like, Bam is a runner.
Shout out to Perry Pinkowski, CEO and director, race director.
Yeah. And he was funny as hell. He popped up on stage to speak to the guests real quick. And it was just so out of nowhere. And he was like, just say Perry Pinkowski. And I didn't know what to say. He was like, just say Perry Pinkowski. Perry Pinkowski. I was like, do I say race director? Like, he was like, just say Perry Pinkowski.
Carrie, Joe, is not Perry.
Oh, Carrie. See,
Carrie Pinkowski.
See, that's how I felt yesterday. And I said his name and he just took the microphone and he just lit the crowd up real quick.
Yeah.
And that was dope. I was like, between him and then the surprise Galen Rupp appearance was crazy. Galen looked like it was a surprise. Like he looked like he woke up this morning, was on a run. And
Galen Rupp said, I guess I will hop in. Because you know what I heard from Picasso, one of the Gumbo Fit race directors, or not race directors, fitness directors. He was saying that because he has a new job representing Under Armour. And he was at a track meet situation, like Friday, Saturday or something like that. Yeah. So he was saying there were just in general, a lot of elites in town. So maybe I'm assuming like Galen Rupp could have just been like around and he was just like, I'm gonna hop in. He didn't have a jersey on.
No, he had on a long sleeve shirt and some shorts.
He did not give a fuck. He said,
on his way to Whole Foods.
Right. Leisurely jog on a Sunday morning that happened to be the inaugural 13.1. Like he was just there for the vibes. And he came in chilling with another elite runner. Gabe wasn't far behind him. Like it was just, and going back to Gabe, that braid from the top of his head down to the very bottom. Maya, shouts out to you for doing that for him because it was giving speed. Okay. And this is why y'all need Run Baes, because they know they get you right.
Yes. Boy, that braid was beautiful.
Absolutely beautiful.
The pattern,
Swinging
the texture.
in the air. Just,
It
I mean,
was
and his
amazing.
hair goes down his back, like far down his back. It was giving. Him and Simeon.
That boy pretty.
He's pretty as hell.
That boy pretty.
He pretty. Simeon also had his hair out, no ponytail, and he's got more texture. So he's giving, texture Bae with blonde, just swinging and
But like, we love our runners, but we got to give a big, big shout out to the Peace Runners. Like Jack, his wife, like Tiffany, like they really represented the West Side super well. They had the what you call it, the shakeout run the day before with Diana Curry popping in, a Biddy popping in, two elite runners right there. It was just amazing to watch them, cross that finish line, and when they crossed it like they left it all out there. Like Jack came cruising, Tiffany came cruising through.
Yeah.
The far, and then not even just them, but like they had a few of their other Peace Runners, coming in happy, excited, full of joy. And it was just so beautiful to see them run through their community, like it was, I just, man, like I wouldn't even know what to do if I had that experience. Like I might cry if I crossed the finish line like that. Like that's wild.
Yeah.
And it was amazing. I did text Javi afterwards, like, hey, yo, like next year, like we're doing more community outreach. You got to let people know that they can come cheer, they can come grill. We can turn to another Black holiday.
It needs to be a barbecue because honestly, Saturday when I popped up, so Peace Runners, shout out to them again for doing the shakeout run on Saturday morning, hosting us all. Carrie Pinkowski was there. And also the race director from the New York Marathon was there. And he also raced on Sunday. So it was just amazing. But my point of bringing this up is Peace Runners hosted us and I forgot my point.
Listen, I don't know what we was thinking, Courtney. Like I don't know what we was thinking.
What?
We was like, oh yeah, we need to get a follow-up episode, a recap episode up like that same week real quick.
No, I'm here. Look, like, I love an immediate recap because we can continue to talk about it, but these immediate thoughts I think are important.
Fan. I used all my words yesterday.
I know you did. I know. Okay.
All my words. I'm done. Listen, when we finally get this, when I get my laptop back and these episodes finally get up on YouTube and y'all see me laying in the bed.
You in the bed? I thought you were on the couch. That's hilarious.
Bruh, no, I am. I'm laying on these 12 pillows that Karen has on her bed, propped up. You know what I'm saying? Arm being supported by 6 of these 12 pillows. And it's like, this is the energy that I have for y'all today because a lot of people ran.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like I was taken along with them for those 5 hours.
We were there announcing the entire time. And it was just an amazing, like, first opportunity to do something like this. But it needs to be a barbecue. It needs to be a whole, like, this is what I was going to say. On Saturday, after the Peace Runners shakeout, I went straight to go get my credentials for the race on Sunday. And so I pulled up to, all the production team volunteers setting everything up. You know how many Black folks stopped their car just to ask what was going on so that they could pop up themselves? Like they want to know. But then the people putting up the production, a lot of them are white. They don't really understand that Black folks just want to know and be a part of the vibes. Or like, it's a race. It's a 5K. First of all, it's a half marathon. Right. But I'm like, if you let people know, if there's people, if these motherfuckers who are setting everything up are a little bit more friendly and actually say, like, to your point, like, I mean, these people are different than like CEM directly because these people just come in and set, everything up. Yeah. But like, to your point, like proper marketing for folks in the communities to barbecue, to play their own music, to cheer folks on. Like that's exactly what we need because it's in their area, but they don't know what's happening. Just like it took us forever to even know that the Chicago Marathon was a thing.
I mean, yeah, I said that repeatedly, like in front of Carrie, like for 27 years, I didn't know that there was a Chicago Marathon in existence. I've lived in Chicago forever. So even when they think, oh yeah, the whole city comes out, the whole city is aware, we really not. And so, that's what I'm saying. Like I think I fully trust the people who put together the event and stuff like that. But this is the first one. And I think, they got that Madden energy. Every year it will get better. Every year it get more inclusive and stuff like that. And the conversations we having is like, yeah, they are already considering what work needs to be done to have the community feel more included. You know what I'm saying? Like, like I said, when I sent the message out and I was like, we're bringing running to a community that does not run. And so they just need, for lack of a better term, just more education on what's going on. Because I mean, we just need a reason to turn up. Like that's all we need.
Yeah, like, I need billboards. I need a photo shoot. I don't need just the runners in. I don't need just run. I need them to show and advertise what it looks like to spectate a race in the Black community.
Go door to door. Go to
I need signs.
Go to
you know
GCI.
what I mean? I'm gonna need y'all to
some signs out there. Come
some advertising at the bus stops in those big old sleeves. I'm gonna need some of those. I'm gonna need I need proper advertisement because I mean, I'm not from Chicago. I say that all the time. But when I first moved here, I lived in Lakeview. The marathon goes through Lakeview. I still didn't know what was going on.
Oh yeah.
I still had no idea.
But like even still like that the marathon been running since the 70s. You know what I'm saying? So it's like
but I thought it was just a parade. You know what I mean? I thought it was a parade.
See, you're wild.
Yeah, I was like, oh, cute. I was like, let me not go over there to Halstead. I'm gonna stay on Broadway and mind my business. I don't know what's going over there. I was like, but who knows?
The half needs time. It was the first one.
It does.
It needs time. And I think the community will come out, especially Douglas, especially
now that they've seen what was going on.
Yeah, now that they're aware of it and stuff like that. And, hopefully next year they invite us back to host again. And,
it's only gonna get better.
We'll put in our 2 cents. One of the it was like an old staffer. Like he was an older guy. He was like, I don't want no beef. I don't remember your name, but I don't want no beef. But he was like, the old man was like, oh my God, you guys are really good. You're better than the guy at the marathon.
I know that's right. Look.
I was like, listen,
we know. We know.
Tell Janet.
Tell Holly. Shouts out to them. No, this was great, honestly.
No, who was our stage manager? Andrea, yeah. Shouts out to Andrea.
Yeah, no, she was lit. Shouts out to the fact that we had a stage manager.
Yes.
But yeah, I mean, like, CM was like, of course, we were like, we need to host this.
Mm-hmm.
But at the same time, they were in agreement. And I think they were in the same thought. And I think that, and I really appreciate them for taking the time to just being like, yeah, let's do it. Let's try something new. Because I want to know how many Black announcers are out there for the major races. This is a major race. This is not just a fun run. This is a major Chicago, United States official race.
Oh yeah, I gotta hit Diana Curio because I still got some Ruby's tacos the day before the race. So I gotta make sure she was good afterwards. She didn't have no stomach problems the next day.
Yeah, I feel that. Well, let's come back to this conversation. We have a guest who's hopping on. It's Maya Jackson-Gibson. So we're gonna let her in. An elite, sub-elite runner. Let her in, and then we can kind of get her perspective, and then we can come back to this conversation because we still have an update from Ian that's major. So,
oh my God,
stay tuned. Don't stay with us because we got more. All right. Okay. And just like that, we've been joined by, again, like I said, Maya Jackson-Gibson. It's actually doctor because she just graduated from Northwestern and will
Is the
be
MD at the front or the back?
Dr. Jackson-Gibson.
And then if it's just Jackson-Gibson MD at the end.
She's got things on both ends. Okay.
On both ends.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
She's a Windrunner.
She got a prefix and something.
Look, okay. You better use the words. Yes. She's a Windrunner. She is a Gumbo Fit fitness director, race manager for our race team. She's been with us for a few years now, and she's family. So welcome in, Maya.
All the way.
Thank you. Thank you. I'm so happy to be here.
Yes. Well, we wanted to have you on because 1, you're leaving Chicago this week. 2, you're a doctor now, and so I just got to celebrate you anytime. All like it. This moment it needs to last. You know what I mean? I need more excuses to say Dr. Jackson-Gibson publicly, and also you're very athletic, and you've also just as far as the Gumbo Fit team, like you've always brought the energy, and you're just a good person. And you were out here yesterday for the race, and we wanted to hear your perspective and thoughts.
But just not at the race, okay? Like, because there was like corrals.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's like a corral, and she was not in said corral.
No, she was in
like,
elite corral.
The elite. You know what I'm saying? Like,
she said, I don't have a letter on my bib. I show up and y'all follow me.
Exactly. He's like, oh, that you hit the carry. Oh my God. I love it. He was in it.
That was an insane experience because she was in our tent. And we all were like getting our shoes on, getting ready, like eating some snacks, and all of a sudden she just shows up with her mat, is like stretching behind us, and we're all like,
right. Wow.
Like, hello.
I love it. So how I mean, y'all, it was funny too because y'all had a false start and stuff like that.
What was that? That was so weird. Because look, I saw a girl on the side of the stage counting down with her fingers, and I was like, oh, it must be starting. And then y'all sprint forward like 100 meters, and then you come back.
Yeah, it was confusing. So the wheelchair racers go off, and then we're at the start line. And then someone said, and the elites are off. And so we thought that was a cue for us to start going, but we thought we were doing striders. And so there was just like a lot
No one told us this.
I know. I'm not saying it was on you guys, but it was like the elites are off. And then we were like, oh, shit.
No, so that was me. So, but somebody has started running and stuff like that. Like the front, maybe they was doing strides or something, but the people in the front just started taking off because we wasn't ready. We was going to say the elites are off at the appropriate time. Yeah. But we was in the middle of talking to each other, and all of a sudden, the first few people start taking off, and then I'm like seeing all the rest of the elites confused, grabbing their watches, and I was like,
what is going on?
The elites are off.
Yeah, like, okay, there they go. Yeah.
And then somebody was like, no.
Like strides. We're like, okay, bring it back.
It's a false start, y'all, turn around.
No, I mean, this race was awesome, but I think you could definitely tell that there were some kinks that just like still needed to be worked out. But it was still really fun. But I think after that happened in the beginning, everyone was like, okay, we're just here to have fun, race. And just like what happens.
Yeah, so that's how to Irma, like just dancing all the time. Just everywhere.
You have to bring
the
energy. Irma's great. Yeah. She's my buddy.
So, and you just recently became like a sub-elite runner.
Yeah.
What's the distinction?
Sub-elite. There's a lot of debate between like sub-elite and elite, I would say, and like what qualifies a sub-elite runner. Each run club in the city, I would say, has different time qualifiers to be on like their sub-elite team. Mm-hmm. And so for Windrunners, it's like a 5:30 mile, a 1:30 half marathon. I think it's a sub 3:30 marathon.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And basically what it gets you on a sub-elite team, it's like you're not considered a professional, but you get to be qualified for some of the sub-elite races that will get you to qualify for the Olympics and certain things like that. You'll get semi-sponsored by like something like Nike or Hanson Brooks or something along those lines. And then, yeah, you'll be able to compete against some of the elites and just sort of make your way into the elite field.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. Well, so what was your time yesterday?
My time was 1:30.
Period.
It was on the dot, but and it was like kind of a mix. It was a mixed emotions because I was shooting for 128. But this was the first half marathon that I've ever really raced, besides the RLT half marathon that you, Courtney, put together in 2020 during the pandemic. So this was like my debut.
You talking about me and you talking about Gumbo Fit and Edge put together?
Yeah. And so I really only have raced one other half marathon besides this one. And I think being in the elite corral is really hard. In the sense of you want to like, and I'm a competitor. Like I played soccer throughout college. Like I want to try and keep up with like, I don't know, you have like Brittany in the front. You have
Brittany.
Like,
I'm sorry. Brittany. What did she run? Like an hour? Like at 1:15? Like I don't even the way that she came in damn near right by the elites.
Yeah.
No, blows my mind. She's a school teacher, y'all.
Yeah.
I think she finished in the top 10.
Yeah, she did.
We read her name. She was like 5. Number 5.
Yeah.
No, Brittany's insane. She is like a true athlete, a true runner. Like she gets it done. And her mental fortitude and the way she attacks races is crazy to me. Something I would definitely aspire to, but she's like on another level.
Sorry, I didn't mean to divert, but that was crazy. Because when you said her name, I had a flashback of just watching her and I was like, excuse me, ma'am. Like the way that she just, because like Diane passed.
Just doing shit in the wind.
And then
like,
she was like right there. I was like,
yeah. And she makes it look easy.
Yeah.
She doesn't boast or brag. She just kind of shows up.
Yeah. And that's what I expect. Yeah. She just like puts in the work and shows up and then
goes back to teaching children.
Yeah. And then she's like doing wholesome things, teaching children of the next generation. So.
Okay.
Wow.
But I guess it's like interesting to be on this sub-elite team because I go from being kind of like a big fish in a small pond to being a small fish in a small pond.
Yeah.
Okay.
And it's like sort of imposter syndrome because I know I'm fast, but one year I'm racing against the likes of Brittany and like Diane's who's in my crowd and like other people. It's kind of like, okay, it's very humbling. And so the hardest thing for me about the race yesterday was just running my own race because I'm not going to be doing like 5:20 splits. Like I'm not there yet. And so I think for me, I just stayed focused on running my race. If people were passing me, even if they were in the A corral, like I had to be like, okay, that's chill. That's fine with me.
Yeah.
Because I think part of being a sub-elite or an elite runner is like, no, the key is like learning how to strategize your race. And that's when you're a smart runner and you're not just out there just all gas and no brakes. You're like thinking about how you're going to attack the race. And those are the strategies that I'm trying to like figure out still. Like what is my best race strategy for me? And thankfully I have like Coach Robin and the rest of the team to talk shop with and like pull me along. But I think one of the biggest differences between people who aren't maybe on a team versus on a team, it's just like that strategy going into the race.
Yeah. I mean, it's only, I was just going to say, it's only going to get better from here. Like you said, you're not there yet. Cause what are you like 28, 29?
Yeah.
Yeah. And we see women in their early, mid, even late 30s getting their best like PR. And it's like women specifically, I think statistically just get better and better as runners.
Yeah, I think so. And I think for me, since I was not historically a long distance runner, my untapped potential is still like here.
Yeah, and your joints are still good.
Yeah, I'm still good. I'm still limber. I still got
You didn't run through them when you're in high school and college.
Still got some pep. So I'm excited to see how the rest of the training this year goes and like kind of how far I can push it.
I love it. I love it. So, like, I mean, you just kind of answered my question with the not there yet. You know, I know you're going into your next stage of your professional life. You know, is there a plan to continue to run at this level and then to, you know, bring that mile pace down, you know, have a faster finishing time and to continue to be a subleague?
Yeah, that is something that I'm hoping to do. I think the next 6 months will just be me getting adjusted, living in a new city.
Mm-hmm.
And then just seeing what the running scene is like in Philly. So if anything over the next 6 months, if I can just get a few races under my belt and just keep my aerobic base, I'll be really happy with that. If I'm not like smashing my old like 5K times or my half times, like I'm okay with that. I understand that in this time of transition, I'm just going to focus on keeping my aerobic base and strength training and then hopefully see what things come of that.
What does that mean for you as a windrunner? Like because I know you're not the only one that doesn't live in the city of Chicago, but like what's their strategy with that?
Yeah, that's a good question. So right now, Coach Robin is amazing. She's like once windrunner, always windrunner. So that makes me feel really still supported, even though I'm going to be in a different city. I'll still be coached by Robin up until I bridge the gap and find a new team in Philly. But I think whenever I come back to Chicago, I'll like hop into team practices and do what I can. And if I have enough time, I'm going to try to train for the Chicago Marathon. That's like a lofty goal with like my disappearing time. I see
because you're a doctor.
Yes. But I think that would be a really good way for me to stay connected with the city and with the team. So I'm going to try really hard to like build that training block into this new busy work cycle that I'm entering.
Wow. So have you done any research on like teams out there, or are you just kind of like, I'll figure it out when I get there?
I'm just going to figure out when I get there. I'm having a moment of, I don't want to make new friends yet and or new family.
Period. Okay.
Like, I'll make new friends when I get there and I'm not going to do it any sooner than
that. No new friends.
Like, I guess it's December. I might as well meet people.
Yeah. It's like out of necessity, not out of like pure want or desire.
Yeah. Man, that's so true.
You're going to take Philly by storm.
I don't know. It's like the older you get, right? It's like you find your people. How many more people do you need to keep adding to your tribe?
That's exactly what I was about to say is that like when I first moved to Chicago, I didn't know anyone. And I was like, yeah, I would like to find my people. And it was also, I want to find my people outside of a high school, college setting where I'm with these people every day of the week. And it's kind of just like, those are your people because it is what it is. When you make friends as an adult, it's like awkward, especially in a new city. It's like, and then it's like, where's the connection? And so running has been that like connection for me to find my people. But then that gets filtered out too, where it's like few of like your core inner circle. And then, once you get to your late 20s, early 30s, it's like, because I'm now in my like, I'm 31 now. So I'm just like, this is interesting. I definitely don't need new friends. Even if they're across the country, I don't need new friends. I don't really care. I don't care. And the thing is everything is so closer than it used to be with the way that we can just, with transportation, being able to fly and just move how we want. Like, I don't feel like I'm far from people that I truly, truly love and are a part of my inner circle.
That's what it is.
Yeah.
Right.
Historically, I like don't cry that much. I think, probably some things to work through with my therapist is like why I haven't cried that much. But I think...
How do I instantly become sarcastic instead of cry?
Fine. But the past week, it's like I have been triggered emotionally just at the thought of leaving. And it's like, I didn't really cry when I graduated from college. I didn't cry because I graduated med school. I'm crying because like I'm leaving my run family, which is kind of crazy. Like I think I identify living in Chicago more with like my running friends and my running life than I do with my med school career, which is like a crazy thing because medical school takes up so much of my time. And for a while, running was just like this tiny piece of the pie. And I think that just shows how much everyone means to me and just how changed I am as a person because of like getting integrated into the community. And I told Courtney, we were at dinner the other day, that I've never felt so supported and so seen by a group of like a collective group of people ever in my life, especially like Black and brown people. And I would never trade this experience for anything else. And I think what I'm feeling right now is just a sense of loss and grief because it's like once you find something this special, why would you ever let it go? And for me, it's because of professional growth and development, but it's like this doesn't come around very often. So
yeah, I love you. We love you. We all love you.
That's made me emotional. Thank you so much for saying that.
We need a virtual hug.
Like a moment.
Well, so many of us are going through so much transition, and I feel what you're saying extremely deeply, and it's like, but it just means expansion, and that like whenever we're in a new city, we have people.
Yeah.
What did you say, Ian?
I said we popping out in Philly, like that's all that is. Like,
put us onto the races out there. Yeah. Well, I mean, what is it? Where's Bull to Bell? Bell to Bull? Does it start in Philly?
Oh yeah, it's Philly to
so
the Liberty Bell.
Yeah.
You should be part of our. You should be part of our team, man. To help
it's a
us not run
team.
It, but no, I didn't mean not run it, but support team.
Oh yeah.
I mean, yeah.
No pressure. Well, yeah, no pressure, right? But like I think there's.
I want to be involved. Like I'm around. Like if I have a free weekend, like just let me know where to go.
Yeah, just one day. Just one day. We got to get to New York, and as fast as possible.
Yes.
We biking, we running, we on a ferry, all type of shit. Like it's going down. Me and Eric.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
I love it. I love it. I also want to spend the time talking about getting your what's what I'm looking for? Getting your, like I told Courtney, I've used all my words yesterday. But I wanted to hear about the technique that came to Gabriel's hair. Like, I'm assuming that braid was of your craftsmanship.
Thank you. You said my dogs behind the scenes. Well, yesterday it was like 4:15, and I saw him like start the routine, brushing his hair now, and he was like, I kind of want to do a French braid, but like I don't know how. And I was like, the true sacrifice for a Black woman is doing your boyfriend's hair before you do your own. And
that's a word. That's a motherfucking word.
Like sit down in my salon chair, and I was like, honey.
Let
me
put these hands in your hair.
Yeah, and I literally just went, and he was like, oh, that was so fast. And I was like, bun it is. And I was just like, let me just gel this up.
You look so good too. Wow. Yes.
I know. I didn't have time to brush out my own hair. I was like, I guess it's this and a headband.
This is what we're doing here.
Yeah. And like,
great job.
He can look good. And then it was funny because he passed me on the course, and I was like, this is one of my proudest moments. I was like, I might be behind you, but I see my craftsmanship. Yeah.
Look at my work. Look at my work.
Okay. And for those who don't know, like y'all are a thing, and it's really cute. I really love it. And run Baes all day. We're going to get into Ian's run Baes situation after we interview this interview. We'll close it. I feel like it's like that little treat at the end because that was major. But like Gabe is a carpenter, you said. Mm-hmm. And I was saying like, so when you said you do his hair, I was like, well, he can build you a house. Okay. And, that I mean, and we were talking about this at dinner because it's like, we love a handy man. Okay. And so I love y'all together. And I hope that, he goes to Philadelphia and y'all enjoy each other.
That happens. I mean, he's doing well for himself so far. He helped me break down my IKEA bookshelf. So I was like, this is your job. And he did it in under 15 minutes. So I was like, check.
You need to have him come out and then build everything back up for you. Yeah. You need to set it all
this
up.
has to be put back together.
I know. So,
and he said he met your parents at your graduation. I'm not trying to put all your business out, but I'm just saying it's a cute situation. Y'all are cute.
It's great. And if you guys get to know Gabe better, I know Ian, you know Gabe pretty well. He's just like very calm and composed. And during graduation weekend, my whole family was around. And my family has a tendency to disappear in a matter of seconds. And poor Gabe is like in the middle of Navy Pier being like, your sister's over there, your parents are over there, your aunt and your cousin are like at the buffet table. I haven't seen them, but I'll get them. And like he's corralling them like cats, just like bringing them back into the fold. He like did such a good job. And I think afterwards he needed like 3 days of a detox just to be like,
your family's a lot. Love you, but
yeah, I need my first like we celebrated you all weekend. Give me like for 2 days and I'll be back. And then he came back. Didn't stray too far, I just like gave him some space.
I love it.
Well, and your family is based in Buffalo, New York.
Mm-hmm.
And so you're going to be closer to home. How do you feel about that?
I feel good. I'm going to be closer to home and I'm living with my younger sister in Philly. So it's going to be.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's perfect.
For the city.
What does your sister do?
She is in environmental consulting. Any more details than that, I can't really tell you, but that's what it is.
Like you probably should not tear this tree down. You should probably put more up. Also,
that part.
Fracking should not be happening over here.
Solar energy only.
Yeah. Sustainable energy.
Yeah, no, but like for real though, it sounds like because she works with corporations, right?
She works with this newer company. I don't know the name of it. I honestly don't know.
It's probably somewhere along the line of her just, consulting them on how to make their footprint as small as possible.
Yeah, I think it's overall, it's a good company. I don't think it's causing any.
That's good. I mean, your whole family, like...
That's what I'm saying. I asked because her mom is a doctor, went
like
to Northwestern.
Merovingians. Like, what is it? What do you call them? What is that one Spanish family that had all the philosophers and scientists and stuff?
I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm sorry. I'm barely here. Listen.
My mind went to Neruda, and that is a poet, so...
Oh, man. But... Oh, I did have this thought. This is like kind of taking us back to the race, but of how there was only 2 like Black women in the elite.
It was you and Diane.
Yeah.
And that's the thing is like, and that's why me and Ian was only speaking to you and Diane.
Yeah. Cause in my head, I was showering and thinking about the race and how crazy it is that there was only 2 of us. And that there's just like no one in between. It's like you have Diane who's running like a 1:15 as a tempo just for fun because she's racing next week.
Yeah.
And then you have me who's like giving it my all and still only hitting like 1:30. And it's like the fact that there was no one in between to like
do anything.
Closing the gap between that is insane. And I have never felt like no other Black woman passed me. And all the Black women people that were cheering me on during the race, they're like, sis, we love you. We see you.
Yeah.
Like this Black police officer was like, sis, I love you so much. And I was like, I'm going to run a little bit faster, but I appreciate you. And I just made me realize that we just have so much more work left to do. Like our footprint is so small. And in a race, I mean, granted, it was only 5,000 people, but even at Shamrock, it was me and Jane were the only 2 Black women in the tent.
Yeah.
It's just like crazy to think about.
Yeah. And I don't think there were any black men in the field, in the elite field.
I didn't see no black men. Yeah. I mean, there is like for the one thing too that I noticed as well is that like, because of our interview with Brian Seaman last week, who's the Paralympian, and like paying more attention to the wheelchair athletes, it made it also very apparent that like there was like an Asian woman, and then it was like white men, and it's like I'm to your point, I'm still very much want to speak about the runners, but it's like being an announcer and actually seeing everybody and seeing from the beginning to the end was like my first actual visual opportunity beyond like standing at the start line at the marathon last year of like, okay, this is really what's happening. Because no one pays attention to the wheelchair athletes, let's be honest.
Yeah.
Like people don't really understand what's going on. And that's why we want to like interview more and like really talk about them a little bit more, because what they have going on is insane and it's like so technical. Their wheelchair is their legs, you know what I mean? And like it's crazy, but the lack of diversity is there. And then to your point, in the elite field, it's like unless it's a marathon, and a lot of these individuals are from like East Africa, like you're the only person. You're a Black American.
Yeah.
In the elite field. And that is something that, to your point, there's a lot of different gaps and variables that you can look at and be like, this isn't right.
I'm proud of myself, but it felt wrong. I was just like, there has to be somebody else, like someone who raced in college, someone else with this skill set that should be here alongside me.
Yeah, but I think that's that's the importance of one creating, these Black and brown running communities, these running groups and stuff like that. Because I think there are, so like when we're doing research for the athletes that we've spoken to, a lot of them do start off in track and field in college, doing the 800s, doing the 1 mile, slowly getting them into the 5K. And then once they graduate college and they running quote unquote professionally or sub elite, that's when they start itching up in the distance and stuff like that, 5K, 10K, half and whatnot. I think the difference is there are, for white runners, there's always a community in which you can continue doing what you fell in love with in college and stuff like that. Like
because they are the ones who started the marathons.
Yeah. But like listening to like the podcast, the Citrus Mag podcast, where like right now they talking to some of the current college athletes and talking to them about what are they plans past college and stuff like that. And some of them are talking like, I'm going to the Olympics to run the 5K, or some are talking about how they want to graduate slowly up to the marathon and stuff. But for us, we go to Ohio State like Kelsey did, and then we come out of there and it's just like, oh, I guess I'm done running because there's nowhere else for me to run.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. There's nowhere for me to go and to continue to do this, or even get exposed to the amazing sport that is road running in itself. So creating those opportunities, those doors of entry into the sport is what's necessary right now, so we can have more Maya Jackson-Gibsons in the sub-elite corral, because a lot of them.
I think there's also too like a dislike for long distance because it's hard. So it's like when you have athletes that have been able to do something that they're good at for so long, and then they're out of it, and then the only communities that they really find are these long distance situations. It's intimidating, and they're one of few. So then it's like it makes sense that if they've never had experience in it and they're used to being good at running, they don't want to now be like, I'm going to do this new thing that I probably suck at right now, but have the potential of getting better.
Right.
But look at the times, like, like if I remember correctly, looking at Diane's or looking at what's one of the athletes that we have for the pregame, like you saw them spend a year or two at 5Ks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like at the shorter distances. And then like running is what it is. Like, so many, Maya, yourself, Deanna, Kayla, So many of them started off, oh, we'll run a few 5Ks. That's what we're going to stop because that 10K just ain't where it's at. And then, these professional runners had that same journey. Oh, well, I guess it's just 2 5Ks. Let me try that 10K. Do that for a couple years. And then a couple events. And then now they look up, well, I guess I can do a half. And it's just, it's one thing to jump up to the marathon, but like I think majority of runners who come from track and field, they have a different experience like what Kelsey had. Kelsey went from Ohio State to not running to now all of a sudden doing the marathon, where I think majority of runners who have that ability to go from track and field to road running, it's a slow, gradual race.
Yeah.
It really is.
And I have to say, I have to give my flowers out to Robin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She sees potential in people in the ways that like I don't think a lot of coaches do unless you already have the times, because I didn't have all the qualifying times to be on Windrunners. Like I was very, very close in a lot of ways, but she was like, I would rather promote a more diverse running community and a sub-elite running field and pour my resources into you because I know you can do it, rather than just like only seeing me strictly as an athlete and the numbers that I produce. And I think, right, as Black brown people, we already have a lot of imposter syndrome walking into these environments. And to have a coach that sees you and kind of peels away that imposter syndrome, like one practice at a time, like that is the support that we need. That's more of the mentorship and guidance that we need, instead of just, like, yeah, you're in this new sub-elite or elite field, like, let's see what you can do. It's like, no, there's a lot of mental unlearning that we need to do with how we've like seen ourselves in these spaces. And that just takes a lot of work.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I
love it. I love it. We have a college, a recently post Chicago State graduate in 7 Sundays, who her times are crazy. Well, we saw her at I don't want to put a business out there, so I'm not gonna say her name, but we saw her at Devin's party, and she was just like, "Oh yeah, no, I'm done with running. Running in college was crazy, da 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 da." But now here we are 2 months later in the group chat, she dropping some race like, "Oh, who wants to go and do this?" And it's like, yeah, like quit playing.
Yeah, you're gonna miss it. Take your break, and then you're gonna be back. Go ahead.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I love it. It's fun, man. I enjoy watching you and your bae run. It was awesome. Mm-hmm. Cheering for both of y'all. Like it was.
Do you practice together?
No, we do recovery runs together.
That's good. That's good. No, I'm with that. Because
is that
what
you
I'm realizing,
and Karen? Ian?
Oh yeah, no. So we run together. Like I was trying to like do like some strength training programming for her, and she will not do it. She asked for it, and she will not do it, and she will complain the entire time. And so what I realized is like we will not have a trainer-runner relationship and stuff like that. Our philosophies are very different. Also, girlfriends don't believe anything that their boyfriends tell them. So
the good ones don't believe.
Fiancé,
Yeah.
Fiancé. Maybe it might change now. We don't know.
It might change.
Listen, we was in the car yesterday because she read Zero Drop shoes, and she swapped to some Vaporflies, right, for tomorrow for the hat. And of course she was like, right, she was like, "Do you think my arches are gonna like fall apart? Like my foot's gonna get tore up from jumping so high up to a higher drop?" And I was like, "No, I don't. It doesn't really work like that." She was like, "But it works going in the other direction." And I was like, "Yeah, but like it doesn't work going up." And so I just felt her just not believe me. So I was like, I think if you ask Matthew Cabell, I'm pretty sure he has a good answer. Aaron might know, so I just gave I just
ask
threw out
someone
names.
else.
Like,
give her the resources.
Here you go, baby. Like I know what you need, and it's not me.
Oh my God. It was such a
my
good
goal is to get
race.
As
fast as her. She's going to get faster though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you chasing, you and Gabe running neck and neck. One day I'll catch up with Karen, and then maybe all of us could be in the sub-elite space.
Matthew doesn't even try, and I still can't catch him.
Matthew's ridiculous.
He doesn't give a fuck.
Matthew stresses me out. I'm so happy Matthew does not run. He stressed me out that one year we was all marathon training together because it wasn't. It was effortless. It was whatever. Whoever he felt like talking to is the pace he was going to be running.
And then he'd be done and be like, "Oh, that was fun." Okay.
You love Matthew.
Yeah. So, okay. So, yeah, the race was really good. Was there any like highlights? What were your highlights of the race?
Highlights of the race. The start was fun.
Yeah.
Everyone was talking about the playlist because that hit, and we all were comparing it to the Shamrock Shuffle playlist. And, this was, people were hyped. It was good.
Yeah.
Playlist was good. I think all of the cheer stations were really good. I just wish there was like that long stretch down Douglas that there was no people. And so that was tough. It was just very quiet. But I think it's a new race. And so the neighborhood people probably like didn't know what was happening.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think people really knew the best place to set up. So like in the next few years, I think people will then know to set up somewhere on Douglas between like miles 6 and 9, just to like more
that whole 3-mile stretch.
Yeah. And then I think the finish line was cool. I think having you guys be the commentators because so many people running and like doing the finish line, like even though I was hurting at the end, when I heard Courtney saying, "Here comes Maya Jackson-Gibson," I was like,
that's me.
I was like, photo fitness.
Yeah, let's go. Look, you know how many times we told people to put their hand up, like, get a good photo.
Yeah, I heard you say that. I was walking back towards the finish line, and I heard Courtney say, "If you're finishing, make sure to like look for like you're gonna get a finisher photo. Like look good."
Yeah, like pay attention.
Announcers who care.
Yeah.
So I think the how personal it was really cool. That was really fun. And then I think for me, seeing all the Find Your Fast ladies at our cheer station for the Windrunners, like that was fun.
Yeah,
really well.
Okay. Good notes. Good notes. I feel like we need to do a recap with the CEM team and just let them know how, give them some highlights and some areas of improvement. Because I feel like we've collected a lot of insight.
Yeah. Oh, yes. I have faith. It's going to grow.
No, it is going to be amazing.
It's going to be great. I'm excited to see it in like 2 to 3 years, maybe 4. I want it to be like Shamrock size.
Oh, it's going to be huge. I mean, it's a half marathon. I believe it was 7,000 runners altogether or something like that. And like, that's big for a first race. And 2, it's like, I mean, I assume too that the parks were really beautiful to run through.
Yeah, it was really, really.
I was humbled.
That's what I'm curious about. I want to know what it was like to run through the parks.
It was really beautiful.
Yeah.
It was like the roads were well paved. There were just like, and I think it was Humboldt. There was some like speed bumps that you had to like mind before like you were running. But like this was beautiful. I think we lucked out with the weather because it was fast and like you were able to not panic because you didn't think you were going to overheat. But I thought that the route was really, really beautiful.
That's good.
Yeah, they did a good job.
Good. Woo. Well, hopefully you'll see us again next year. Maybe we'll make this a thing. June 4th, 2023.
Yes. Let's go. Let's do it.
And well, I guess I will say that the sun came out and people did get really hot. That part was kind of crazy.
It was crazy.
And it was the first time that we really we were there at the end, and then there's a cutoff point where then they're like, you don't need to say anyone else's name anymore. Like low key, they're too late. They didn't finish the race. You don't finish the race if you don't finish it. I think they do. It's like a 14 to 15 minute mile that they count as like the slowest pace. And then if you don't get within that time, they start packing up. And there's still runners, like 80 runners left, and they're still coming through. And it's like rough, but they're the ones who need it the most, obviously. But But yeah, it'll be interesting to see how it grows because it is major and it's going to be continue to be major. And so next year I wouldn't be surprised if there's like 15,000, runners.
That would be crazy. There's so many more names.
So many more, more names. But it's good to have like 2 people. Yeah. Yeah.
I love it. Well, Maya, we appreciate you coming on and sharing your experience with us.
Mm-hmm. Guys, talked to me. I was excited. Yeah, like I said, to talk to my friends. Recap and full of emotions, full of so many things. Watching you and Karen yesterday, literally, I just, And the amount of people, like, I was looking at the photo that Jeremy took afterwards and just seeing the amount of people that were there to witness that moment.
Yeah.
Like that.
I mean, that's
everything we already talked about. That's it.
It was important. It was important. It was like, I didn't really take into consideration how much of lift announcing would be. I just thought doing a microphone on stage, I could do this shit. I didn't realize how long 5 hours would be of talking, but there was no other venue that would have supported our community the way that me and Karen will see this whole journey from engagement to wedding and stuff like that. Like I without this running community, me and Karen would not have had an opportunity to meet. Like Gumbo, she lives in Arlington Heights. Like Gumbo brought her to the city, and 7 on Sundays is where she found her home and decided to continue to come to the city. And we've been in this space for years and just, brushing up against each other. And she just stayed just long enough for us to make this freaking connection. And it's like, it clicked, and it's been amazing. And this is, like I said in my speech, was like, this is my absolute partner and I love her and I'm grateful to have her. And so I wasn't going to just propose to her in some restaurant in front of her mama and her daddy and my family. Like, y'all are every one of y'all plays just an important part as our parents do. So we wanted to share that moment with you all. And so, like, it was crazy. Like I slowly told people I don't know.
Everyone knew except Karen. I think everyone figured that out. Everyone was like, "Did you know?" I'm like, "Yes, everyone knew. Everyone knew." Karen knew. She had a dream about
it. So this was my trick, right? Every time I would tell somebody I was proposing to her, I would make them think that I only told them. I was like, "Don't tell nobody. We'll keep this on the low. Like, between me and you, this is what's happening. So if you don't have nowhere to go, you can stay." Boom. So everybody wasn't talking and stuff like that. And it just didn't get back to Karen and stuff. So it was awesome. Like she, down to the last minute when she came looking for me and Courtney and stuff, so we wouldn't miss out on the picture and stuff like that. She was rushing us. Like, girl, ain't nobody going nowhere with that.
No, we're all waiting for you, sis.
Yeah, and it's funny too because you can see in some of the pictures and videos that she wasn't even listening to my speech. She was like, my mom said that she said out loud. She was like, "Why? Of course. Why would Ian be giving a speech right now? He just got done talking for like 5 hours."
Yeah, and honestly,
she was like, "We just want to take a picture."
Well, and the thing is, though, is that when he started talking at first, I was like, "Is he going to just talk about how 7 on Sundays is his church?" And I for sure was just like, "Oh, he's just going to talk about the running community." And I was like, "Oh no, this is his proposal. Karen is the church. Karen is the house." Okay. I said, "Okay, I get it."
So yeah, that was an intentional misdirect and stuff like that. Because I know I needed like a minute to get into it. And so there was that misdirect where I would come off like I'm speaking to the community. And I was, because like I said, like I can't say this, enough. Y'all are important to our story. One of the most important parts. So yeah, no, speaking directly to the community, and then turned that focus onto the love of my fucking life, man. So you know, it was really awesome. Like honestly, I've always wanted like a family and to be married, but even in that moment, like we was walking up, my chest wasn't even beating, my stomach was beating. I've never, if that's what nervousness feels like, I don't think I've ever been nervous in my life. Like that was wild. And even as like I was talking and it was happening and like I felt everybody's eyes and stuff like that, like I just was like also in my head, like, how do you get down on one knee? Like how do you bend over? Like I was trying to figure out like how my body does this. What does that look like? And it was wild, but it was the best thing I've ever done in my life. It really was. She said yes.
She said yes. I still can't believe she had a dream about it though.
She did. 3 days before. Dreamed the whole thing. Like just woke up like, yeah, I had a dream that you like proposed at this random race. Like my family was there. And you know, she helped plan. She don't even know. Like she helped orchestrate getting our family there. She had no idea what was going on the entire time. It was crazy. And honestly, Courtney, you made me feel so good. Because you looked at her ring and Courtney was just like, Courtney sounded like that reel with Owen Wilson. She was like, wow. 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 I was like, I did a good job.
Yeah. I mean, I love it. I just adore the both of you. And that moment was amazing to be around community and for everyone to be in on it, for everyone to just kind of like, it was just perfect timing. It was great. And I know like, I just want to invite to the wedding. But I feel like there's an expectation for that across the board. So I also understand if that's not what you're doing. I'm just saying that like, I would like to be there.
We have already talked about the wedding and we can, our wall right now that we can, because we're trying to make it as small as possible.
Oh, small. Okay, fine. Let me just stay over here.
No, let me finish.
I can announce your wedding.
Let me finish. I can announce the wedding. We can't get under 100 people. And I want to say 80 people are already I'm like, I'm over at 7 on Sundays. Like we at this point we've just come to the fact that like we're gonna have at minimum 100-person wedding because it's like we just want our parents, our siblings, and then like all the 7 on Sundays in gumbo. That's really all we want. we in the 7 on Sundays group chat, we were just like, yeah, so our nuptials we'll probably have a pre-nuptial shakeout run. So.
Oh my God. Iconic. That actually shake out y'all in all white outfits. Short shorts.
You know.
I'm sorry, I'm done.
Yeah.
The 3 inch they're gonna come out with.
Yes. 3-inch shorts on the tux. Let's go. And a suit jacket. Let's go. I'm with it. But no, like this road running, this sport has taken me places from like, you know, announcing a major race, speaking to elite athletes, making probably friends that I'm gonna grow old with, to like now me finding my like life partner. This running is wild. Sport is wild. You know what I'm saying? So I'm grateful for y'all because y'all are you two alone are 2 people who've helped, you know, me arrive at this point and had this opportunity. So I'm grateful and I'm thankful. I don't know what else to say. It was fucking awesome.
Yeah, I mean, it just makes me think of what Maya said too. It's like running is life. It's what keeps us alive. It's like so much more.
I love it. Well, thank you. I'm a whole ass fiance now. Maya's a doctor. Courtney's an announcer. We just all leveling up here. It's awesome.
Yeah. Maya, do you have any last thoughts before we let you go?
No, I don't think so. I'm going to be around. Chicago can't get rid of me. So, I mean, catch me
We
on
love it.
any random weekend, I'll be around. So,
We love it. We love it. Yes, no, we all are like, we was like, all like me and Karen was like, you know, they still together. They're going to be still together. And so that means Maya will be back in Chicago.
Yeah. Well, 2 weekends ago.
So as long as y'all understand that y'all can't just, y'all weekends are not just for y'all, like those small visits are not just for y'all.
You're right.
It's for all of us.
It's funny because I think we were at the 7 on Sundays run 2 weekends ago, and Gabe and I were talking with Karen, and we were like kind of joking that like we weren't, I don't know, that our relationship was still undefined. And Karen was like, wait, are you guys still staying together? Like, what's going on? I just need to know. Are you coming back? Karen was just really, yeah, she was like, so you guys are staying together, right? Like you're going to do long distance. And we were like, yes.
Oh like, I low-key did the same thing though. I can't even lie. I was like, so it's a long distance relationship.
Yeah,
fantastic.
Had the same thought. Yeah, she's like, so you're doing it. I said, yep.
I believe it. You got that boy. I ain't gonna stunt. I done talked to Gabe. Like that boy.
I see it in his eyes every time I look at him. You say Maya, and he just gets a twinkle.
Yeah. A little big ass teeth be just showing. I love it. Let's go. Yeah, I love it. We love it. We're grateful. We're happy for you. We're happy for both of y'all. Happy for the next stage in your life out. Whatever kind of support you need, you always, hey, it's a DM, a text, a phone call, a FaceTime away.
Mm-hmm. So safe travels. You're moving in tomorrow or the next day? What is it?
Tomorrow. I pack up. Today, my apartment's in shambles, but it's good. It's like good chaos. That's what I'm telling myself.
Love it.
Yeah. Well, good luck on your new move, on your new adventure, on being a doctor. You're about to like change the lives or like, I don't know, help people. You're going to help like children. Yeah. Like you're going to be some of children's first experience with like a doctor that they can remember. Yeah. And I think that that's really special because it really shapes their relationship with health and wellness, which you do in general. So, I mean, and if you were my doctor as a child, I would love that.
Yeah, that's going to be good. So when the Gumbo 7 on Sundays community starts to grow with little kids,
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Look, that's what I'm saying. I'm like,
yes.
I'm low-key kind of pressed because I was like, I need Maya to be my child's doctor.
Yeah, just like I'll hold some spots open,
That means both of y'all gotta come back to the city in 4 years. That's all that is. That's all I'm hearing.
In 4 years.
Yeah. Ain't that how long you in school?
3.
Oh, in 3. It's a 3-year joint. Okay. See, all right. Went in 3 years. Let's go.
Okay.
Let's go.
All right. Well, we'll see you next time. We'll have to have you on. Get a little update once you find your groove in your community.
Yeah.
You'll be our Philly correspondent.
I'm here.
All right, man. You have a good one.
All right.
Awesome. I have no more words. No more words to give.
Ian is done. He said, Courtney, why do you have me on here the day after? Why? You was trying to go to breakfast and text me talking about, oh, we're recording today. Oh, yes, we are.
Yeah.
Maya's great. And it's going to be great to see her just blossom in her new stage of life out in Philadelphia.
Oh, yeah. I love it. I'm excited about all of the growths, all of just everybody, just life, just growing.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But ultimately, though, we kind of
see growth 5 times.
Yeah. Okay.
I think I was shouting names in my sleep last night. Oh my God.
We talked about this.
Yes, no.
What?
No, go ahead.
I'm trying to help you wrap up. Okay. I'm trying to say we talked about you and your proposal to Karen, and it's amazing that, you were able to pull it off. For those who don't know, the ring was gold and had an emerald in the center of it. and the symbolism of the race being called the Emerald Necklace because it's 3 parks laced together is amazing. And tell me her favorite color is green.
It is not.
Okay.
That would have been way too good and stuff like that. But no, she wasn't. She knew she wasn't gonna get no white gold. Not for me. You ain't gonna get no rose gold from me either. I'm a yellow gold guy. Like, that's what you're gonna get. And then also, like I said before, like, you know, like I've never been interested in giving the woman I proposed to a diamond ring. You know, no shade on no diamonds or anything like that. It's just, for me, I just feel like at this point it's just really expected, and it's a bit of a thoughtless process. You know, when I have spoken to men about their selection, it's just like, oh, I just need to get the biggest one I can afford, and I'll pay however time I need to pay it off. You know what I'm saying? It's just, and a lot of times, like, you know, guys don't even pick it out. You know, the person you're working with is the person who picks it out and stuff. So it's just like, you know, I always want to do a stone that represented the person I would end up proposing to. And I just feel like the emerald it just set right. You know, it just made sense for Karen, you know, representing, you know, health, healing, peace, you know what I'm saying, love, and just balance, you know, and that is all things that she brings to my life. And then the ring in itself is a gold ring that was actually my grandmother's ring. It was my grandmother's ring, Granny, and who was a very important person in my life. You know, most of who I am, most of the things you hear come out of my mouth comes from her. Like, quick wit, whatever, humor. Like, her birthday was the day before mine. Like, Granny, I am Mary Thomas. You know, as much as I am Stephanie Gonzalez. So it was really cool for her to be currently wearing a piece of her on her finger, because, you know, even when I first met Karen, like, her love felt so familiar. It felt so familiar, you know, and it's like what I feel like I grew up with. And so, you know, from all of her hobbies, the interests, her humor, her vibe, it just, you know, it speaks to my mom, it speaks to my grandmother. So giving her, which actually, the ring was fully melted down. So it's that ring and another ring was going to melt down and make a new ring. But the minute I saw that ring, I was like, this is the one.
That's beautiful.
This is the one.
Yeah. Yeah. Matthew constructed mine too, with like a collective of like diamonds from the family, and then gold rings as well. So it is special when you have a man or partner who just puts intentionality behind it. I know, Ian, you talked about how you really wanted to, you want an engagement ring as well.
Yeah, I think I came a little bit too soon, you know, but I think we need to normalize me getting an engagement ring. I just want to be somewhere. I just want to be out somewhere, and then somebody just be like, "Oh my God, congratulations! Did you just get engaged?" Like, yes, I did.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I just want to scratch my face, you know. Yeah. Somebody just see, because ain't nobody gonna know that now I'm getting married unless she's standing next to me, and I just want. I was gonna I don't know. I'm just gonna start bringing it up in random conversations. I'm like, do you want paper or plastic? I'm like, no, I got a fiance. We just got engaged.
I support that completely. I really think that should be a thing. It's also just too, like, I'm with somebody. Like, I found my person. And you don't need to say a word to me. All you need to do is see this ring.
I'm like, baby, don't be laughing that hard. You're laughing too hard. I am engaged. I am not that funny. Relax.
No. Yeah. So shout out to all my running days.
We was talking about that yesterday. Put your ring in the camera. Do you wear your ring? Because I was like, I never noticed.
A lot of people don't notice, and then they do, and then they're like, "Oh, you have a ring on," and I'm like, "Yeah, I've been wearing it for a while now," and a lot of people still don't know. I mean, I kind of like how casual it is. That it's not like it's very chill and has meaning because Matthew designed it.
I love it. I love it. I can only imagine. He probably got like notes written and fucking like like what do you call this shit? Like
he has a rendering of it.
Dude, I already know.
Yeah.
I already know. Like
low key, I should like frame it or something.
Yup. This nigga, just an architect. Like just constructed a whole ring. I love the energy, bro.
But the thing is he's on your energy too because he wants a ring too. And we've been engaged for like 2 years because like the pandemic and also we're not in a rush and like all this stuff. And we just keep going through transitions that are just like, we'll just do it later. And now we're kind of getting to the place where we need to set a date because his sister has also been engaged for about 2 years. And she just set a date for next year. And I was like, okay, I think that means that we need to do something.
Yeah. We need a ring.
But he's he's been looking at wedding rings because he's like, I want a ring on my finger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like you just got me out here looking like don't nobody love me. Like I'm out here looking like a boyfriend. Like, I ain't no boyfriend.
Right.
Yeah. You need to put a ring on that man's finger. Like you need to make him an honest man, Courtney.
Well, and to your point, he will tell people that he's my husband already. He already calls me his wife when he's like referring to me to people that don't really know us, but like, it is So I support all men out here trying to get engagement rings. Also, shout out to all my running baes turned fiance. That's my new thing. Running baes turned fiance. It's a beautiful thing. This running community runs deep. Also, you're the second couple that met through Gumbo Fit. Like, I know you didn't meet through Gumbo. Well, yeah. I mean, you were saying that Gumbo Fit brought her to the city. That got engaged and are getting married.
Yeah, what's his name? I can't remember his name, but yeah, him and this guy. I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I can't think of his name because I'm just done with names. That's why.
I am too. That's why I'm not even attempting. But you're the second couple.
I don't want to meet nobody new. Nothing.
Man.
What was I about to say? Okay, never mind. It's gone.
Engagement rings, run baes, turn fiance.
Nothing.
Okay. Well, this is our recap of the Chicago 13.1. We don't have, again, we'll probably continue to recap this in the weeks coming, but this is our immediate recap for those who want to know. And also, a good send off for Maya.
Yeah. I'm gonna miss Maya. Gratefully. I love her. I appreciate it. She also, and I meant to say this when she was on here, like she lives, like her home, her residence is well within my love language. Because if you just stand next to Maya for 3 seconds, she touches you.
Yeah.
She might hold your hand. She might grab your arm. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I was like, yes, this is actually what I need in my life. Like, thank you. Like, let's talk more.
Yeah.
I am grateful. So shout out to Maya. We love you. Kill it out there in Philly. And for the rest of y'all, this has been another episode of the Runners Club podcast. Thank you for coming. Thank you for everybody, all of the runners of the inaugural Make America Chicago 13.1. It's been real. We'll talk to you later this week.
Okay, right. Bye-bye.